All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Progressive Podcast. It is actually episode 69. This is episode 69. The previous episode, I got a bit too excited. And yeah. Anyways, cool. Do me, bro. How you doing, fam?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
We're back at school now, and
yes, sir.
Obviously, first 2-ish weeks, we're starting a bit slow, but we'll be picking up the pace soon. Not much more to say. And I think the important thing, and it's actually something that I mentioned to you before we came back to Joburg, is that you want to be ready so that when the Monday comes, you start off like without having to still tweak things on your routine, so on and so forth. Like you just want to go and maximize the 8 weeks. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited about like kind of already being in that process and seeing how far it takes me. Yeah, that's on my side. And how about you?
Yeah, for me, it's pretty much been the same, I guess. Bit of a slowish start. Traveling, some interesting things that, we kind of cooking for you guys on all fronts within the business and within the podcast as well. It's quite surreal into the last, 8 weeks of this degree, to my compadres, my comrades. Yeah, man, we almost done, if any of you guys are, watching this, shout out, let me know in the comments. But, it kind of made me reflect, really a lot, actually, when we were doing drama, and it's actually quite crazy that it's only 2 of us. No, I think 3, including Carl, that are still within the arts. The scene of the arts. If I remember,
it might be 4 because Henu,
yes, 4,
Sinead,
and Sinead, so 5. So it's a bit of a...
Maybe even Katie. I'm not sure, but Katie seemed like someone who would continue doing it. Yeah. So
so there's actually... It was actually quite surreal.
Probably like up to 5 out of a class of... How many were we?
I think about 17?
Yeah, actually, that's probably about right. Yeah, somewhere there.
So it was very interesting, and now like looking back with the group I've been with, we've really had our ups and downs, as a collective, but what I love about live performance and within the creative space, more with acting than with the other part of it all. We are emotional athletes. Every day we're handling emotions, right? And we're working with these things. These are our tools. We work with people. And it becomes like family after some time, and your struggle kind of becomes my struggle. As a collective, it's been very refreshing, been very rewarding. Like I'm the only foreigner there, but like they've really made it like home and created a very safe space and a conducive space for me to be able to create freely.
Wow.
Of course, there's certain jokes that I can crack because there's certain foreigner jokes that I have license to crack because anyways, that's not why we're here today. But we're here to chat about reflection. Yeah, we here to chat about reflection. And it's actually quite interesting because, like we said in the previous episode, we said this in the previous episode, right? We have touched on these topics, but we're not those guys anymore.
Yeah, that's basically the essential point is that
we're not those guys anymore.
We did this, the topics that we're touching on is essentially all of the season 1 topics. If you just go down to the very first season of the podcast, all of the season 1 topics, we're doing them again.
Yeah.
But the reason why we did those topics in the beginning is because we thought, okay, these are like kind of the basic topics for self-improvement, like the base that you build on for the rest of the things.
Yeah.
And so we did them, but we've grown in the last almost 2 years because we started basically at kind of mid-November, right? We posted in 7th of January of 2022, but we started like working on it in mid-November of 2021.
Mid-November, December.
Late November, early December. And so it's been almost 2 years. So we've grown and we've changed. So obviously, for example, the actual definition of reflection hasn't changed, but we have more insight. So we decided that it would be good for us to redo these topics again, like, they're updated, with just a bit more things fleshed out, examples, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And like Mietani said, we're not the same guys.
Yeah, we're not the same guys.
We're not the same, which I guess is the point of the podcast.
Yeah, we're not the same guys. We're definitely, we're definitely a lot smarter, a lot fitter, a lot healthier. And we've gone through some stuff, man. That's, and that's the thing about life, man. Life will shake you.
Yeah.
Life will shake you. You can, man. Yeah, life will shake. It's got, it's like in rugby. You can be like a big dude, bro. You can be like a prop, bro. Yeah. But a scrum off will take you down.
Even the smallest of it reminds me dudes, of bro. I don't know if this is one of our classmates or like back in high school at Uplands. Should I say? I'll just say it. Leo. Shout out Leo.
Yes, sir.
We must have been in grade 9 maybe. And Leo was like at the time, and he was like a very skinny, lanky guy. And he took down maybe the biggest player on the opposition team because of the technique that he used. And to say that even a little thing can shake you. Your life is like a big thing, and even something little can shake you.
And that's, someone said this the other day, and that's the problem with winning. When you win too much, it kind of gets to your head, and it's not even you actively letting it get to your head. It's just in your subconscious. You're so used to win. Yeah. And then now when life just, then you're like, go.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think, like you said, I think it's very important to understand that in life, something will shake you eventually. Don't think that everything is going to be 100% perfect all the time.
That's real.
Things will go according to your plans. That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. So I just wanted to kind of set that precedent, saying that, and I guess that's why it's important to be able to reflect, because we have to look at what we've lived through, look at our actions, and try to glean, take something from it, learn something, understand where your mind was at, so that you can prepare for future situations. Life will shake you. You can be, some things you just won't be prepared, or you won't be fully ready for, but you can be somewhat prepared. Some you won't be, but I think in us doing this or talking about reflection, we can help you guys be prepared as possible for anything that could happen. But so life will shake you. I think that's the first thing.
Yeah, I think
just to establish.
That's the first thing we can say, man. And like, there's different ways people reflect, right? And one of them is through conversation, like what we're doing right now. That works for people. And understand, like, men don't talk, and I hear the conversation, it's got its valid points as well. But like, depending on the context, it's not necessarily practical in every context.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
So for other people, talking helps. Also writing it down. So in the form of journaling also helps. And then I think also talking, but like vlogging, like doing like a video diary. I've seen some people really take use of that. So like, like how we got this camera here, maybe like Doomy's just in the camera, talking to the camera, like, yo, this was my day. My day was crazy.
Yeah.
Got like hit by a pigeon, bro. Like, it was wild, Got attacked by a couple of pigeons, man. And then cool, you save it and then you load it up on like a Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox, whatever you guys use, right? To kind of, store your stuff. And then I guess another one is, depending on which religion, or, whatever your religious beliefs are, whichever God you pray to. Yeah. I guess through prayer and, and fellowship, I guess it's, I guess in that way you'd be showing now, it'd be more of a gratitude type thing.
Yeah.
Like I went like, you're praying to God and you're saying, God, you know what? Thank you for taking me through this season. Yeah. I've learned A, B, C, D. I wouldn't have been able to get through this without you. So, you kind of, sharing, this bit of that intimacy with God.
Yeah.
And, it's very interesting that like reflection is different for everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
As we've just, now that we're talking about the different types of reflections, but like what reflection will look like for me, other people need a long time to reflect. Right. So like, for me, so let's take the graduation film we shot, right? Yeah. I'll take a couple of days, right? Or I will allocate moments within my day, within the 3 weeks after shoot, to reflect on them.
Yeah.
Right? Even in the 3rd week after shoot, it's just, listen, I'm a chill, and I'm gonna just think about this thing, and, I don't know, man, like, for me, it's changed because before I used to just sit down and try to do it in one go. But at the time it worked. But now that, things have changed, I need to break it down. It's now become an elephant. Yeah. Because there's so many nuances now that I'm now aware of that I can't necessarily just, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's interesting. I think you probably mentioned 4 types of reflections. Yeah. And I think that it's something that right now I'd say I probably do all of them. Let me say, okay, well, talking, right? Like talking with you or with some of our other friends. Yeah. And just kind of reflecting over events that they're aware that I've lived through or events that we've all lived through so that we can kind of take away from that what we can. Then there's the reflection that I do by myself. This is probably maybe the one that I do most where, like, how can I say? I've lived through particular moments. Yeah. And for something happens in my life that either reminds me of those moments or like it takes me back to those moments. And then I realize the way in which I've reacted now differently. And I kind of compare the two and I like reflect on like, oh wow, like when I went through that, I didn't know this. I wasn't as mature. And so now I see that I'm different. And now I can see that I've learned and I need to make sure that I continue down that path. Then there's the one which is like through prayer. So, like I'll pray to God, maybe like ask that he can take me through a tough moment, or if I've lived through like a tough season or something like that, I can say thank you because I've learned this and this and this. Or like if I'm in a tough moment, Lord, what is it that you want me to learn? Because sometimes the reason why we were even having a conversation, I was under some pressure this past week.
You're checking, my guy.
Let's just put it like that.
Checking, my guy. You've been checking what's not even nice.
I was under some pressure this past week, and I was speaking to Mietani, and then I was speaking to myself, and in the moment I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, God, why? Like, why? Because I'm just trying to be straight. Like, I'm just trying to do things the way they're meant to be done. But then I remembered that you have to go through the fire in order to be refined. That's just what happens. You have to go through something difficult in order for it to chip away the things that aren't meant to be there, because only the things that are meant to survive will survive through that. The rest that is too weak or that's not meant to be there, it'll be taken away so that you are more solid, right? You are more equipped for future situations. And so, yeah, that's something. And then the last one, which is something that I've actually adopted recently, is like video journaling, right? The reason why I'm doing this is because like, I believe that I've come to a point where I just want to change my life. Like actually have like a vision for the kind of things that I'm doing, and then have a vision and actually have steps towards that vision and then see it through. And I'm kind of video recording it like every once in a while, maybe like once every 2 weeks, just like a catch up of, oh, this is what's happening now. This is how far I am in my journey, so that I can look back later and be like, wow, like, I said about doing this. I did it. Or you can look at the video and be like, oh, this is where my mind was at. This is crazy. Like, cause sometimes you have down days. So yeah, so it's though, like, I guess I do a bit of all of those reflections, if I can say it like that.
And that's real, bro. Like, I just want to point out, man, like, in life, there's 2 types of people. There's those that say what they're going to do, and there's those that say and do what they're going to do, and it actually comes into fruition. And sometimes it takes time. Certain things will take a year, certain things will take 5 years, certain things will take 30, 50 years. Right. But at the end of the day, it happens. And it's very interesting, and I think what would be very good to touch on quickly is what would reflection look like, right? So let me tell you guys a story time. So there used to be this side hustle thing that I would do, like to kind of do tasks online to kind of make a bit of extra cash, right? So I did it the one time earlier on this year. It worked, right? Some money was made. Second time around, this thing comes up again, and I say to myself, okay, let me see, right? But it didn't work out this time. And financially I was down horrendous, right? And, now I had to, kind of, pay people back some cash and everything, because I can't even say if I was scammed because I never got to the end to actually see if it was a scam or not. Do you get what I'm saying? But now that's a scenario that happened in my life. Cool. So now I sat down and I told the boys, and I was like, listen, I'll never do this thing again. Because of the stress that I went through. There's no need for that to happen. And, if you ever hear me talk about such opportunities, just remind me of this opportunity and hold me accountable. Right. That's the first step. Acknowledging what happened, right? In reflection.
Yeah.
And second thing is now unpacking the emotions you went through, right? And this is very, very, very important.
Nah, you're cooking now.
Yeah, this is very important to unpack and acknowledge those emotions. Because once you get that done, right, then now you can say, okay, cool. Now that I've acknowledged the moment, now that I've acknowledge the feelings and unpacked why did I feel like that? What put me in that situation? For me, what put me in that situation, if I can be vulnerable and share with you guys, was that I needed some cash. Yeah. Point blank period. I needed some extra cash, right? And I wanted to pay a couple of things off. And this was an opportunity. I thought it would work, but it didn't. Blew up in my face. We move it. We keep it moving, right? But so now the final step is, okay, cool. That happened. This is how it made me feel. This is why I did that, right? Chat to a few people.
Yeah.
Then you say, how will I not end up in this position again? That's if it's something bad. And if it's something good, then it's a thing you need to now say, how will I replicate
this position,
this feeling or this moment again?
How can it's instead of saying how will I not end up in this position? You're like, oh no, how can I end up in this position again consistently, basically. And
how can I not end up in this position again consistently? Because I think it's very important to you can tell people what reflection is, and all of these things, but we're not here to lecture, bro. And I think, and that's what makes podcasts. For that, so. Yeah, you can go to a lecture for that. We're not charging tuition here, man. But that's what I think. That's what makes podcasting great. You share stories, and it kind of gets pretty much. I don't want to say the same information as your lectures or your like your academic content, but you can kind of get a sense of similar content, right? And just in a more casual, I don't know, type of environment. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts before we get into the quotes of the week?
No. I think we kind of covered the general idea, you could say. And then we gave those 3 points, which is essentially, what are the 3 points? It's that you have to
acknowledge what happened.
Yeah. Acknowledge the emotions and why, break down the emotions. Why was I there?
Very important.
And then after that, how, depending on what happened, if you want that to happen again, how do I make sure that this happens again consistently? But you don't want it to happen again because it wasn't a great thing. Then how do I stop myself from being in this position again? 3 steps. I think they're very,
very useful.
Yeah, very useful.
Very helpful, actually.
Yeah.
Cool. So we kind of do this thing called quote of the week. All right. We do this on episodes that where it's necessary. For those of you who haven't been here, but for those who've been here, we got some bars for you guys. And today's quote of the week is by it's from Margaret J. Wheatley. All right, and this is what Margaret has to say: without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. It's a bar.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. We definitely didn't do this on purpose.
Yeah.
When we look for these quotes, we look for quotes that, have to do with the content of the episode. And so Mietani found this quote, right, when we were preparing for the episode, and we looked through our notes for this episode from season 1.
Yeah.
And it actually happened to be the same quote. It was the same quote. We didn't do it on purpose though. It just happened to be that was, because obviously we'll always try to look at something that kind of applies to what's happening right now. And it just happened to be the same quote. So if you go back to that first episode, you'll find the same quote.
And actually, we actually managed to get the moment Dumi's talking about, on camera. So yeah, just check this out real quick.
Remember, it's January, podcast 3. Yes, what is reflection? Reflection over January. New Year's resolution. What's the quote? Quote of the week. Without reflection, we go. It's the same one.
Cool. So that was the moment. It was actually quite interesting, man. Because, who would have thought, man?
Yeah, just that nostalgia.
Yeah, that's nostalgia.
Wow. Yeah, because I was like, let me just check.
Let me just check, you know. Maybe... And camera was rolling, you know, like this is what I love about this thing, man. You just press play or press record. Sorry. You guys press play. And we thank you guys for pressing play. Please keep doing that. Yeah. Share it to your friends, your friends, your girlfriends,
your grandmother,
and like her girlfriends. Or you get the gist of things, right? Just please help us out.
Yeah.
But that's a very self-explanatory quote. And I think we've elaborated and touched on what was needed to be touched.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty clean. I have to say.
No long talk, man. Like,
and I was when I was looking over the notes from last time, I saw an example that I used.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'll use, like, kind of as my last words for this episode. And I think I said that reflection is like car maintenance, right? Like you have to check the tire pressure. Is this like once a month?
Let them cook.
You have to check the tire pressure. You know, check oil, water, and stuff because. If you don't do that, then later when you're on the road in the middle of nowhere, it could cost you.
Yeah.
And so, it's important to, you know, it's important to reflect.
Yeah.
It's like car maintenance. Car maintenance is essential. It's essential, you know. And so I think, those are my last words. And this is,
that's bars, bro.
Yeah.
That's bars, bro. That's so real, man.
And there's more coming, you know, because we got 6 more topics to cover now.
Yeah, we really do.
So this is gonna be really I enjoyed this one. Kind of just going over it and like, oh wow, like we did this before, but now
we're giving like refined,
much cleaner
you
now.
know, because our episodes are not as long as they were the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're cooking for an hour, bro.
I don't
know how we're cooking like hour episodes, bro.
Yeah, we just knew and it just
waffling.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Go on tangents. I'm not like we don't go now, but like we know how to manage it. Like,
those tangents were tangents.
Yeah. Like we're reflecting now, guys.
Like, man, we would cook, but like slow cook, you know.
We let it simmer.
Bro. Like, you know, like you just put the salt, the pepper, and whatever, like chicken spice, and then you chuck the chicken in the oven. Now, fam, we put the chicken, right? We put the sauce. We put the spice 2 weeks before. I'm joking. Listen, I'm not a master chef. And I don't even know if that made any culinary sense. Culinary, right?
Culinary, yeah.
I don't even know if that made any culinary sense. But what we're saying is that we used to cook.
Yeah.
A lot. But now we're here and we're definitely a lot better.
The meals are more refined.
Yeah, they're more refined. It's like, what can I say? No. I'll say like Burger King. That was a real burgers. You know, real burgers. Quality burgers. Quality meals, man.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Burger King, but if you do know somebody, by any means, please.
Yeah. You know, we're open to collaborations.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, okay, no, like disrespect to Burger King, but maybe because of like the company, like maybe Burger King wouldn't necessarily be the best of sponsors.
I mean, you gotta have a cheat meal.
No, guys. Burger King, please, guys. If you see this, you come on, bro. This is a man that owns a fitness company, and this is what he's saying. Come on. This is gold right here. This is gold right here.
You gotta have a cheat meal, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Like you, wow.
But anyways, guys, we're gonna end it right there. My thoughts are: please do like, subscribe, and share our content. It really does help grow our message and grow what we're trying to do here. And if you do have any ideas, please do let us know in the comments. Follow us on Instagram at the Progressive Athletes. And if you do know somebody, if you're willing to help, maybe studio wise, camera or whatever the thing is, we're willing to accept any donations, any help, with whatever the case may be. You'll find all the information in the description. And, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And cheers. Cheers, guys.